Hello artists, patrons, supporters, whoever you are tuning in. I'm Jess and I'm the owner director of NOIR Darkroom, and I'm here today to make a pretty big announcement in terms of noir. I struggled to find the words to sort of articulate this in writing, so I thought maybe it would be best to try and deliver it personally and see how we go. But I've got some notes in case I get a little bit flustered and forget what I want to say. So, the rumours are true if you've heard them. Noir will be closing its doors and ceasing operation in February 2021, although there will be a new exhibition schedule leading us up to there to be announced very shortly. This is a heartbreaking announcement, and it's certainly not a decision we wanted to make or one we were ready to make. It is a decision that sort of the COVID pandemic has made for us or put us in a position that we have not really many options. The hardest part is that we entered 2020 in a really amazing space. It was our 4th year of operation, and things were looking really good. Exhibitions were solidly booked out to the end of the year. Workshops were sold out. I had more tutoring than I knew what to do with. And most of all, as sort of a sole trader, I was able to support myself financially. For anyone who works in the arts, you'll understand how much of a hard thing that is to do, to be financially stable in the arts. So it was a big deal. I poured my heart and soul into noir. It's essentially an extension of myself, but also an extension of all the beautiful people that have helped along the way, including my partner Ruby, amazing gallery manager / volunteer Angela Cornish as well. Couldn't be here without you, that's for sure. But I sit here 7 months into Melbourne COVID lockdowns and I am exhausted. It's been a long period of coming up with different plans and ways to sort of rebuild, and it's overwhelming and kind of getting to the point where it's impossible to see a future. I do believe we've created a really unique art space, and one that put the needs of artists first, albeit putting profits second, which obviously is not a very financially viable option, but it's something that was really necessary for Victorian's art scene. We're really desperately in need for a place that supported artists instead of profiting off artists. And then COVID happened. So essentially we've been closed since March this year, sort of 7 months in or something like that now. And in that time, we've only legally been allowed to operate for what equated to about 2 weeks that we physically were able to open, have people in the space, facilitate workshops. I should say workshop. I only got to facilitate 1 workshop in that period we were allowed to be opened. And essentially that is our profit for the year. So our profits, or our income vanished, but our expenses remain in place. And that's sort of why we are where we are right now. And our expenses will remain until we close in February. And if you do want to help us out during this period, please sign up to our Patreon. It is really the only thing sustaining us and helping to keep those bills paid during this period of time, especially as we're still not able to open for quite some time. Okay, so we had a lot more we wanted to achieve as well. So there was a lot we had planned, a lot of things coming up, a lot of ideas that we really wanted to put in the space. So it's really heartbreaking that we're unable to realize this and to provide those things and to sort of tick off all of those goals that we had coming into opening our art space. But essentially we had 2 paths in coming out of the pandemic, and one would be to completely restructure the space, obviously put profits first, but that would mean ultimately giving up the beautiful community that we've created and putting forward a more financially stable one. And that's not exactly something we were willing to do. The other option would be to close and to let Noir live on, true to the vision that we had in the space, without compromising who we are or what we wanted to achieve. So that's what we've decided to do. We're so lucky that we have an amazing network of people, artists, patrons, everyone that I'm sure we could probably scrape together enough to keep the doors open. But that would be it. That would essentially be all we're doing, keeping the doors open. In order for NOIR to continue past the end of our lease term, it would mean sacrificing any income that I may have in order to pay the bills and keep the space running, which would mean I would need to rely on government support and be expected to get full-time work on top of that, because unpaid work is not considered work. And that's not fair to me or my career progression or any ideas I might have for my future. So it's finally time for me to put my needs first after many years of putting the needs of others first. We are so proud of our space and everything we've achieved in the short period we've been there, even if it's going to be cut short and we don't get to do everything we wanted to do. I think we've made a real impact on the art scene. We've certainly made a real impact on a great selection of artists and photographers. We've seen artists thrive, learn, collaborate, experiment, and create lifelong friendships. People have fallen in love within our four walls, people have fallen out of love within our four walls, and these are things that we will not forget. These are the things that will be our legacy moving forward. We believe we made something special. I think we created a safe and accepting space for artists, all artists, regardless of your identification, your background, your experiences, regardless of who you are. We're a space for everybody, and we hope that we get to continue to be that space for the next few months. But as cliche as it sounds, this is not the end, this is just a new chapter. We'll be closing our building, closing NOIR as it was, but for those of us involved, we'll never stop striving for equality in arts, we'll never stop doing our bit to create the art scene, or mould the art scene to how we envision it. Before I sign off, I just wanted to urge all of you to support your local arts facilities, because everything is really quite volatile, especially at the moment. Things are hard all of the time, so imagine doing that in the middle of a pandemic. Pay your artists, pay them what they're worth. Prioritise small business and fight for our art scene. 2021 is going to be a very different space. There's going to be very limited opportunities, limited spaces to exhibit, and we really need everyone to fight for that future, the future of our arts. And just because opportunities will be limited, for those of you that aren't artists, there's always ways. So get out there and do your anarchist art spaces and do what you can, sort of reclaim the art scene to what we need it. Okay, last thing, before I sign off, I want to acknowledge the fact that we would not have made it as far as we have, or been able to do all of the things we wanted to do, without the amazing help of all of our volunteers from when we opened to now. So it's been some amazing long-term ones, there's also been some short-term ones, in and out, but every single one has made a lasting impact on the space. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, particularly Ruby, who doesn't get much recognition for how much she does, but has really been a backbone to NOIR. And that's it. So I just want to say goodbye, but hopefully I'll still get a chance to see you over the next couple of months when we do implement that last final arts program. Come in, say hi, continue to support us. Like I said, we've still got bills to pay. And yeah, let's just have a party and make the best of what we can until February. Thank you.